Are you currently trying to figure out if the CT Cyclone is the right purchase for you? Make sure you stick around with this video as I go over the 5 things that I absolutely love about the Festool CT Cyclone. Hey, I'm Ben Marshall and welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, consider subscribing. I like to share woodworking tips and tricks every month in concise videos like this. Today I'm going to talk about the CT Cyclone. I purchased this about 6 months ago from my local woodcraft. I've certainly put this thing through its paces. I've made all of the furniture in my daughter's room, and I just started making furniture for my other daughter's room. Lots of projects, lots of emptied bins, and so again I just wanted to share the 5 things that I really love about this system. So the first thing that I love about this is the cost compared to other options that are out there. A few years ago, I owned the Oneida Dust Deputy for the Festool system. It's a great separator. It separates how it should. However, there are a lot of drawbacks that this system doesn't have, and it's only slightly higher in cost. At only $375, you get a lot of features with this particular Cyclone that you just don't get anywhere else as far as what I could tell. The biggest reason why I bought this, the pre-separator, is because I wanted to save a little bit of money and effort when it comes to having to empty out the bags for my CT26, my Festool dust extractor. Now, I have had the same bag in my CT26, my dust extractor, for the last 6 months, and I haven't looked at it yet. I will open it up in a future video, kind of highlighting what the CT Cyclone does as far as pre-separation goes. So I haven't had a need to purchase another bag because the pre-separator separates the large, huge chunks that typically clog up your dust collection bags or your dust collection bins. It separates it into here, so that way I don't have to empty my bag as much. I can just take the top off of this, empty out the bin, put it all back on, and then I'm back in business doing whatever project it is that I needed to do. The next thing that I really love about the CT Cyclone from Festool is just the quality of the build. Everything goes together well, everything snaps together well. It's rigid and rugged. Now granted, I wouldn't throw this thing off a house. I don't know why anyone would do that. However, if it falls off a table, if it gets bumped off my work surface, even though it typically isn't up there, it's going to hold up. It's rigid like most of all Festool sustainers are. It's made out of the same composite plastic or material. And again, it features the same designs as their sustainers. And so if you have Festool already and you know how well their sustainers can hold up to mistreatment, I guess if you want to call it that, the CT Cyclone shares those same qualities. The thing that I really love about the CT Cyclone is the clear bin. As I mentioned before, I had the Oneida Dust Deputy, which is made out of this black composite plastic. Again, really good separator, but the only way that I could tell that Oneida was full is whenever my when my CT26 started screaming because everything was clogged up. The tube was black, the bin was black. You couldn't see through it and tell how much material was in there and if it needed to be emptied out or not. With the CT Cyclone, because it has a clear bin, you can look at it and tell if it needs to be emptied or not. The third thing that I really love about the CT Cyclone is how modular it is. And so if I wanted to set down in size for whatever reason, I can take my bin out, and it still provides the same suction, it still provides the same separation. Obviously, I've now reduced the amount of material that I can separate. This is a 20-liter bin, and I believe this is a little bit less than 10 liters, maybe around 5 to 7 liters that you can store inside of here. So again, that's another feature that I absolutely love about the CT Cyclone. The next aspect or thing that I really love about this is just how well it separates. When I empty out this bin, it's all big particles. It's all really big chunks. Now, I mean, there's still some fine dust in here, but I know that whatever is inside of that bag, it is really, really fine dust. And because I use the Festool CT26, it has its own HEPA filter. I know that it's going to refilter anything that the bag doesn't collect, any particles that the bag doesn't catch, that HEPA filter will. And so by the time the air gets extracted out back into the atmosphere, I know that it's clean. I don't have to worry about dusting things off around in my workshop or in my basement. I know that as far as dust collection goes, that this is doing an exceptional job. The last thing that I absolutely love about the CT Cyclone is that it's made by Festool, and I don't mean it because it's a Festool. What I mean by that is it fits within the Festool ecosystem, meaning that this fits on top of my CT26. I can lock it down to the hose garage so that it won't come off. And if I wanted to store or take with me an additional tool, let's say I wanted to take the Carvex with me inside upstairs, I'm doing some remodeling, or if you're going inside a customer's house, I can take this and I can now lock this down to my pre-separator. There's no other tool sets like that out there that I'm aware of that have this much of an ecosystem with a pre-separator. It's just incredibly well thought out. So if you have already started the investment into the Festool ecosystem, I really cannot recommend the pre-separator enough. You do need to do your homework, as the pre-separator, it's not compatible with all of Festool's dust extractors, mainly the smaller ones like the MIDI or the CT Sys. Again, I don't know. I'll probably put some information up on the screen what it is not capable with, just from a suction perspective. But again, I've owned this for the last 6 months. I absolutely love it. I would not want to work in my shop again without it. My dust extractor is the most used tool in my shop, and probably in anybody else's shop if you're doing dust collection. I hook it up to all of my my power tools that require some type of extraction, and again, it gets used with everything in my shop. My shop stays clean because I use the dust extractor, and I don't have to worry about emptying that bag as much because I'm using this pre-separator. So those are the 5 things that I absolutely love about the CT Cyclone. Again, if you're in the market for it, I highly recommend it. I would buy it again if I needed to. So having said that, if you are interested or in the market for buying one, and if you want to help support this channel, I included some affiliate links in the comments below. When you buy from those affiliate links off of Amazon, it's no additional charge for you. However, there is a small kickback that comes from me for showing the item. So if you want to help out, make sure you use the links below. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more content about the CT Cyclone, more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.